Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. It's Kris
and Lexx.
And today we're back with another episode of Figuring It Out with Kris and Lexx. So we're going to go ahead and start up the podcast. And if you want to listen to the podcast on your way to work or while you're at the gym or whenever, you can always listen to us. We're available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all the streaming platforms. Why do you seem so serious today?
Sorry.
Lighten up. I don't know, I feel loose. Do-do. Hey guys, what's going on? It's your girl Kris
And your girl Obey Lexx.
and we are back with another episode of Figuring It Out with Kris and Lexx. And today we will be discussing relationships in 2019. So, what's the status of your relationship? Okay, the status of my relationship is taken and happy. Period. And that's the same for me. Taken, happy. I'm happy with myself. Yeah, so I'm happy in my relationship. We're in a really good place right now. We've been together for on and off, how many years? 7? Yeah, or 8 maybe. It's been a while because since I met him at my first job at Taco Bell, and I was a junior in high school. So I was like 17. I'm 24 now. So yeah, it's been a while. And then you guys had some off periods, and then I helped you guys get back on. That was like, okay, don't be taking all the credit. I did. So basically, she was single. And she was just like, oh, maybe I should start talking to such and such again. And I was like, yeah, do it. And then she did it. And look at you guys now. Okay, whatever. Thanks. I had a little bit of credit. Okay, thanks. Just a drop. just a tidbit. Okay. And then with my boyfriend, I met him in high school. And he was at the time, our friend's boyfriend's brother. So I always thought he was cuter than the brother. Well, you said our friend's brother. Our friend's brother's friend. You said boyfriend, but okay. Oh, our friend's brother's friend. Yes. Anyway, so I always thought he was cute, but didn't really talk to him because I think they were seniors when we were freshmen, so didn't really have any like conversations with him. And every time I would be at her house, I never really saw him, so didn't really see him. Then a couple years ago, he slid in my DMs and was like, oh, you're really pretty. I would love to take you out on a date. And then I just sent it to Sienna, like, look at him. Like, what is he talking about? He wants to take me out on a date. So then I responded back and I was like, how about you start with my number? So then I sent him my number. And then we started texting for like 2 days. And then that turned into FaceTime. Then we started FaceTiming. And then for Jasmine, my little sister's, 20th birthday, I got a hotel and he came and he picked me up and he helped me decorate. And then that was like the first night we chilled. And then I was mesmerized ever since. I was, because I just thought it was so cute. Like at the time, I didn't have a car. Like I was at a point in my life where I knew my car was going to break down eventually. And my car finally broke down. And my dad was like, oh, you need to get a new car. And I was like, I don't want to get a new car now. Like I like taking Lyft and Uber and just chilling out. I love not having to drive, because I've always been the person that's like, oh, Lexx will take me, but Lexx don't got a car. Anyway, long story short, he picked me up, he took me there, he helped me blow up all them balloons, helped me decorate the room. I was like, you know what, this one's a keeper. And then he impregnated you. No. Come on. Basically. I am not that. Then she had his baby. I'm not that type of woman. Then she had his kids. I am not that type of woman. She has kids afterwards. No. That happened in July. Then August, we made it official. And then the impregnation, whatever you want to call it, that happened for his birthday. And I had his baby after my birthday. So, we still had a couple of months in between. So how do you think your relationship compares to relationships you've seen growing up? Like, with your parents' relationships, your grandparents, anybody in your life? I definitely think that my relationship, I feel like it's similar to my parents and my grandparents and everybody I looked up to when I was younger.
But I just took like the positive things from the relationships and learned something from the negative things in the relationships. Because, you know, with every relationship, there's positive and negative aspects. So I feel like I took a lot of the positive aspects from those relationships and kind of learned from the negative, like what I don't want. And I think that, I think I like really, when I was settling down with Jameer, I really like compared him to my dad and to my grandpa and to the men that I know in my life. And I just felt like that was the best decision for me.
Yeah, because you see the qualities he has, and you see the qualities that other people have. Exactly. I think it was kind of the same, like growing up, the way my parents were, because you know my parents have been together for forever, and they're not really. Neither of them are really like affectionate people. So that kind of makes me not really affectionate. Same. But at the same time, I want affection. So it's weird. So seeing them growing up, and they never really, like, I noticed they never really took time for themselves. Like, you know, they went to work, they came home from work, they made us dinner, and they, you know, my dad went in the living room and my mom went in her room. And, you know, that's the dynamic. Like, you never really saw them going out on dates, never really saw them kissing and hugging too much. It was more so like, you know, almost like a business relationship. Like,
that's,
you know,
how my parents were too,
like, seriously, like, and that's, and I don't want to say that's what I was like accustomed to, but it's like, you know, they had a routine and they were great together with the routine. They are great together with the routine. But one thing I did notice now that I admire is, like, I feel like now they take time for themselves. So like now they go on vacation together and they do stuff. Like, they would do like little trips here and there, like go to different places, but it wasn't like, I don't think it was like highlighted. Right. But now it seems like, okay, you know, we're going to the Bahamas for a cruise or something like that. And I admire that, you know, now, you know, the kids are out the house, now they're taking time for each other. And one thing that I always, like, I knew what type of man I wanted. I always wanted a man like my grandpa. Like, my grandpa was the love of my life. Of course, you know, your dad is. But my grandpa, like, that's the type of man I wanted. My grandpa, you know, for Valentine's Day, he'll get me a card and flowers. My dad does it too, but it's just, I just feel like it's just different coming from your grandpa. Right. Like, the way that my grandpa is with my grandma, I just felt like they had, like, such a cute relationship, and that's what I wanted. Okay. Always. Like, just, I'm in love with him. Like, love you, Grandpa Tommy.
Are there some things that you feel like you saw your parents do and you were like, okay, when I get older and I get a boyfriend or I get a man, I'm not going to do that? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like, definitely not take time for themselves. I think, you know, I've never seen my mom, you know, have like a whole self-care day. You know, she'll get her hair done, but I've never seen her, you know, hair done, nails done, and then my dad be like, oh my gosh, babe, you look good. Like, and that's what I wanted. Like, with my grandpa, if my hair is done, oh, look at you. You cleaned yourself up or something like that. It's always noticeable. And I just always wanted that in a man. Like, I just want that, you know.
Your man to notice you.
Exactly. Like, your man to notice something that you do and just love you. Like, I just wanted that affection, maybe because I didn't see it growing up. Nothing wrong with that, but it's just the pros and the cons.
Right. Okay. I feel like in both my grandparents and my parents' relationship, it was kind of like the man was taking the lead on the relationship. So whether it came to like finances or just basic decisions of like what the family is going to do, like, you know, how we're going to do things, it always was like the father figure had like the final say.
Absolutely.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And then a lot of times, like, like if I ask my mom, oh, mommy, can I go here? Can I do this? She'd be like, I'm not sure. Ask your father. And I hated that.
Really?
Yes. What the fuck do he got to decide for?
You don't got a mind of your own. Yeah.
Right. Like, come on, Marilyn.
That was annoying. That's sometimes.
Annoying.
Yeah. Or it was like my mom would tell me yes for something, and then my dad will turn around and be like, no. And it's like, well, she already said yes. Like, what her opinion doesn't matter. So that, I get, sometimes that would irritate me, like you said.
Yeah.
Like,
and I feel like now that I've seen that, and I know that that's not what I want for my relationship. Like, when me and Jameer have discussions, like, I make sure that my opinion is heard, and then make sure that my opinion holds value. Yeah. And make sure that, like, you know, in some cases, oh no, like, in this situation, I got it. I'll make the decision in this situation. Like, you know what I mean? I know what's going on. I know how to do this, and that. Yeah. I'll take care of it. You just chill back. Like, you know what I mean? And it's not like everything, but certain situations, I like to take control of.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if it's always him doing something, then it's always going to be me blaming him if something goes wrong. Like, you know what I mean?
That's true. I didn't really think of it in that aspect. But that's a very good point. I feel like the same thing growing up, it would be a lot of, like you said, you know, you ask your mom and then your mom be like, oh, well, I gotta ask daddy and stuff like that. And it's like, well, come on, like, I want to know right now. Like, you know, I don't want the long drawn out.
They giving me anxiety.
Yeah, now I'm getting anxiety because now I gotta wait till he comes home. I gotta be all nice to him, and I gotta butter him. I've already buttered you up. Just say yes. You know, I get that. Anything else about relationships and like parents and stuff like that?
I don't think so, no.
So how do you keep your relationship alive? Like, do you guys go on dates? Do you guys have like a ton of sex?
Whoa.
Do you guys, you know, take trips every couple of weeks? Like, how do you keep it spicy?
We definitely like to travel. And we like to go out to basic dates, bowling, go out to eat, skating, stuff like that. Definitely doing things that we've never done before together. And I enjoy, like, cause I would like to say I was more like versatile and out there when it comes to like doing different things, traveling, experiencing things. And he was kind of like, you know, not used to that. So I kind of enjoy taking him like to different places where he's never been. It's like his first time on a plane was with me.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah.
Okay.
Took him out the hood. Period. So
no, can you stop?
I'm just playing. But no, seriously. But yeah, I mean, our sex life is good as well. No complaints. I don't want to go into too much detail. This is not lip service, ladies and gents. Not lip service. So if you came here for the nasty talk,
not happening.
This is the wrong podcast for you. But we definitely like to go on trips. And another thing we like to do is we like to have like a lot of conversations. Like, I think it's so weird when you have like, you ever go to a restaurant and like, you know, you're eating your food and then you look over to like the next table and it's like a couple, but they're not talking. Like they're just literally eating, or like they're on their phone, or they're just like going like this, and then they'll say a little couple words and then they looking around again. And then it's like, this is weird. Like, me and Jamir always look at people like that. Like, I never want to come to a point in my relationship where we have nothing to talk about.
You know, honestly, like looking at me and Blake, we do that. Like, we'll go to restaurants and we won't talk. Like, we'll just be on our phone, stuff like that. But I honestly think now it's because it's quiet. Like, being at home with 2 kids, 8 and 10 months, it's like non-stop. All you hear is, Mommy, or blah, 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 blah. Or, you know, oh, can you get a bottle? Can you do this? Can you do that? So being out, it's just like quiet. Like, now I don't have to hear anything. Like, we don't hear anything, period. You know, of course, you know, we'll try to talk. Well, of course, we'll talk. We're eating, and we'll say certain stuff here and there. But I think sometimes we just enjoy the peace and quiet that we don't get on a daily basis.
Okay, so I mean, I definitely think that relationships definitely change when you have kids. Like, when you bring a second and third person into the, because they're in the relationship too. So when you bring them into the relationship, the dynamic of the relationship definitely changes. But I feel like me and Jamir have so many conversations, we talk so much that I feel like even when we have kids, it still won't get like that, because like, I don't know, we're just always laughing. We're always like having a discussion, like whether I'm talking about something or he's talking about something. Like, it's never a dull moment when it comes to us. And that's what another thing I appreciate. And I appreciate like how comfortable we are with each other. So that kind of opens up more conversations, like when you're really comfortable with your significant other.
Someone said, Madi_get_right said, what about a couple that did it all? Do you mean like a couple that does all the stuff and the relationship still fails? I don't know. I feel like that happens.
That does happen. I feel like if you don't have a genuine connection with your partner, it doesn't matter how many trips and none of that. Like, none of that matters. Like, if you go out on dates, all that stuff, if you don't have a genuine connection and it's just not there, then your relationship's still gonna fail.
And sometimes people just genuinely grow apart. Like, you know, you could do dates, you could do sex, you could do trips, like you said. But, you know, if you're starting to grow apart from that person, it kind of doesn't matter. In my last relationship, like, I literally felt myself growing apart. Like, literally. Like you know when you get to the point where you're just like completely fed up, and I was waiting for the point, and then I literally happened. Like, I just don't like you.
Right.
Like,
right. I feel like it's the same with friendships, because when you grow apart from a friend, it's like everything that you take so serious, like everything that we used to take so serious, like I don't think it's that serious anymore. Mm-hmm. Or like I'm interested in other things, and you're still like kind of doing what we were doing before. Yeah. Like that's really what growing apart is, like sitting around, smoking, drinking. And now you're trying to better yourself, and that person still like doesn't really get what you're trying to do, and they're still trying to bullshit around, or vice versa, because it can happen the same way as well. Your partner could be wanting to do other things that you just feel like are a waste of time, or you don't understand, and you're not supportive of that person, but you're just trying to do the same thing that you guys have been doing, and a lot of people don't want to sit in the same place. Yeah. So that can really cause like a relationship to go downhill.
And plus too, especially with me, I don't want to feel like I'm changing someone else. Like I don't want to change. Like I didn't want to change that person. This is the direction I'm going to, and you're not in that direction. But I don't want you to change. Like I want you to keep doing you, but I'm gonna do me somewhere else with someone else.
He says growth is essential. I feel like praying can keep the foundation of a relationship.
I definitely agree with that, but I feel like you have to be serious in your prayer.
Oh yeah,
because
definitely.
We can't pray once a week and not mean it. Like you actually have to mean what you're trying to put out into existence. And I feel like attitude plays a big part in relationships too, because I don't want to say I can't be happy, but imagine me, happy, and then you're just sitting here mad all the time. It's like you just feel yourself like,
oh yeah,
almost like diminishing. Like it's like, I don't even want to be happy because you're not happy.
And I feel like that just really ties into like, you're with this person, like when you're in a relationship, you're with that person all the time. Like you talk to that person every single day. You're talking to that person throughout the day. So everything, all their energy, all their vibes, they rub off on you. You are who you're around. So if you're around somebody who's negative, or around somebody who's never satisfied, or somebody who is not happy within themselves, it's going to rub off on you. And then that just causes problems in your relationship, because now you guys are both unhappy. You guys are both like resenting each other, because when you're around that person, it kind of brings you negative energy.
Yeah. He said, facts, people shouldn't be your happiness. You should be happy already and share your happiness with someone else.
That's definitely true.
And I think that's like my battle now. It's like you want to be happy, but it's like if someone else isn't happy too, you kind of feel like you should be unhappy. Or if someone else doesn't have the same happiness that you have every day, you feel like you shouldn't be happy either. And it's like that shouldn't be the case. If you're happy, be happy. Your attitude shouldn't change because of the next person.
Right. And I feel like of course, like, especially when you're in a long-lasting relationship, there are going to be moments in your life where you're not happy with the position you're in, or you're not happy with Absolutely. Where you're at right then and there. But I feel like it's your duty to be in a relationship, and that's somebody who you love. It should be your duty to make sure
Uplift.
But I'm saying, like, if you're the person who's unhappy, I feel like you should make sure that you're not bringing the other person down. And you should allow that person to help you. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times we'll be so depressed or so unhappy with ourselves that we kind of block other people out.
Yeah.
And when you're in a relationship, it's very toxic to block the other person out, because now you guys gone apart so long, you're not really 100% connecting, and that can just cause like everything to go to shit, really.
And go to shit very quickly too.
And that just goes back to when everybody says, like, communication is key.
Yeah.
Because I can't read your mind and tell, like, you're unhappy. You have to let me know why you're unhappy, like what's going on, how are you feeling, like what are your thoughts, stuff like that. And that's why really people say communication is key, because nobody's a mind reader, like, you know what I mean? Nobody can see what's, like, just by looking at you, what's wrong with you, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. He said, question.
What's your question?
I don't know if I got the answer.
So how do you feel about, like, I know we did a whole episode about social media and relationships, but this is more of a broad question. How do you feel about your significant other posting you frequently? Like do you feel like that person needs to post you frequently, or do you feel like it doesn't really matter?
I feel like social media is a crutch, and social media with anything in your life can help you or hurt you. Mm-hmm. And I feel like in your relationship, if your relationship isn't going too well, if you don't know how to express your, affection face to face, then social media is a great way, because case in point, if Blake was to post me right now, I wouldn't see it. But if someone in my live said, oh, Blake just posted this long, heartfelt message, it would make me smile. Because it's like, oh, maybe he doesn't say it every day, but now I have a post. He just posted it. He doesn't know how to articulate his words. He could have Googled it. Because remember when Russell Wilson Googled, what's the ideal of a perfect woman or something like that. And he stole that whole description and he made that caption for Sierra. Stuff like that is kind of...
But then again, if you think about it, it's just social media. He could just text you that.
Yeah, he could have texted me that. But I feel like sometimes social media kind of boosts. I feel like it boosts you up. Like, why do you post pictures on Instagram? So you can get likes. Mm-hmm. So you can feel a little bit better about yourself. You post a picture, you don't get any likes, you're gonna take it down. You feel like shit. So I feel like someone posts a picture of you, post how much they appreciate you. Yes, they could have did it in a text message, but putting it on social media for the world to know, it's like, wow, he's putting it out there. Everybody knows we're together. Everybody knows he loves me. Wow, this is just magical. Like, this is just the cutest thing in the world. Wait, there was another question. I don't know.
Should a relationship feel like a job?
I feel like that kind of
definitely.
I feel like that kind of ties into what you said with the social media posting on social media, because I feel like sometimes people think that posting is a job. Like, okay, now I got to make sure I post her once a week, stuff like that. It doesn't have to happen like that. Post me whenever. Sometimes people are like that. Like, you haven't posted me. That's
crazy.
You haven't posted me in 2 weeks. Why haven't you posted me? I know people like that.
You have something wrong with it.
I know people like that, but I think that also comes with maturity.
Because the thing about it is, I don't want to be posted if it's not genuine.
Absolutely. Don't post it for play.
Don't post to satisfy me, because I don't give a fuck. Jameer barely gets on any social media, and he doesn't post me very often. He might post me for my birthday, or he'll post me if I have like something going on that he's proud of, or maybe just something random he wanted to talk about me. Or sometimes like he'll see a post and it'll remind him of me and say, oh, my girl does this, or oh, add Kris, like he'll add me and be like, oh, this is so you, or something like that. Mm-hmm. So I know that it's genuine. It's not because he wants me, and he knows he don't have to post me at all. Like, don't post me. I don't care. Yeah. I mean, I only post him, and the people can tell that it's genuine because I'll post him if he does something funny. Yeah. I'll post him if he did something nice and I wanted to share it with the world. Like, he bought me flowers. Like, the other day he bought me flowers. I didn't post it because, like, I just didn't feel the need to. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was in the bed. I didn't really feel like posting anything at all that day. Yeah. But don't post me if it's not genuine.
Yeah. And I feel like sometimes with the posting too, you kind of don't want to get posted because you kind of just want to take in the moment. Like, you don't want to share that moment with everybody else. Like, I got flowers, so I just want to look at my flowers.
Exactly. I don't want everybody to see my flowers.
I don't want everybody else to see my flowers. Like, I just want to take that experience in with myself.
Like, everything doesn't have to be posted.
Someone said, does posting your significant other validate a relationship? A lot of times, people say, like, oh, I saw such and such, they were out together and da-da-da. So now they're definitely a couple. I don't think it validates your relationship.
I don't think
it puts that stamp seal.
Because at the end of the day, social media is something new. People were in relationships far long before social media. People were in long-lasting 80-year-old, we've been together for 25, 35, 45 years type relationships before there was social media. So there's no way in the world that social media is a validation of your relationship. Like, there's no way. Like I always say, if my significant other posted everything under the sun, he posted for this person's birthday, he posted about this, he posted about that, he posted that he woke up this morning and ate a Cheerio from off the countertop, and you don't post nothing about me and I'm always there, that's suspect. Because why is it that you post everything about your life, but I'm this major part of your life and you don't post me? Right. And I'm always there, and you take a picture of your food and all you see is my little nail in the corner, and he just goes above and beyond not to post me. Like, that's weird. Yeah. But I mean, if you post frequently and, like, normally, and you don't post me, I don't find a problem with that.
Yeah. He said, yeah, that's different.
Yeah, that's different. Yeah, see, like, that's weird. What are you hiding me for? Are you hiding the world from me, or are you hiding me from the world? Which one?
I don't know. Sometimes people think, like, especially if you have something going for yourself, like, okay, you have the hair. You post, 90% of the stuff that you post is about hair.
It's about hair.
So what's the point of posting John Mayer? You don't want to add that in the mix. And I think sometimes that's a lot of people, a lot of excuses. Like, I'm just posting. All I do is post my hair. That's why I don't post you. But it's like, but you posted your friends. Oh, but she was wearing my hair. But still, like, you could still post me. That's how I feel about it. I feel like sometimes people use other things as an excuse. Does posting your boo ruin your real life relationship?
No. I don't see how that could ruin your real life relationship.
I could see how it does. Because there's been, in the past, you post your boo or you post someone and then hiding from the demons. And then all of a sudden, some bitch from 10 years comes up, well, I was fucking with him before you and da-da-da-da and da-da-da-da. That's when all the haters come out.
But if your relationship can be ruined by other people, then your relationship wasn't meant to be.
It wasn't strong enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, if a bitch slide in my DM talking about, oh yeah, we had this going on last year, years ago. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Now you're being petty, and now
you're being weird.
You're being a psycho.
Yeah. And I feel like that's what happens a lot of times. Like when you finally put yourself on social media, I think that's like the test of your relationship. Right. Because in the past, when I posted my old nigga, that's when everything starts happening. All of a sudden, everyone under the sun, and it wasn't from years ago, it was from like last week, I was with your nigga. Oh, and it's like, oh my gosh, here we go again. That's why sometimes people just want to keep their shit on the low. You can bag my girl. If you can bag my girl, you can have my girl. Absolutely.
Facts. Okay, so how do you feel about relationships and finances in 2019? Because like compared to previous years and previous generations, it was a lot different. I feel like when it came to like finances, like a lot of times it was the norm to have the man bring in all the finances. But now there's a lot of women out there who make a lot more than men. A lot of women have been like wanting to be like this independent and having their own separate account and their own money and not letting the man, really into their finances or vice versa. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it's just been a lot of changes since this new generation. So how do you feel about like finances and relationship? Like, do you feel like it still should be the man, supports the family majority, or do you feel like whoever makes the most should support the family? Do you agree in splitting bills 50-50, or do you feel like the man should pay more, or whoever makes more? Like, how do you feel about that house?
I think my opinion on all the finances definitely changes when my finances starting to dwindle down to nothing. Because in the past, with relationships, talking, whatever the case is, I've always been, I'm gonna bring what I'm bringing. Like, I have my own job, mm-hmm. I have my own car, I have my own everything. So I don't want you to buy anything for me. A lot of the times when I would even go out on dates or like talking to different guys, I wouldn't even let them pick me up. Like, I'll meet you there. Like, I would pick them up. Like, I am very, very controlling when it comes to certain things. And that was like my big thing. And plus, like, I get very like scared. Like, I'm a very scary person too. So a lot of the times, like, I would pick you up. We can go out on a date or date, whatever the case is. When it's time to pay, I'll pay for my half. What did I order? Just give me my half. And a lot of times in the past, they didn't like that. And I felt like a lot of times guys were intimidated by that. Yeah. Because it's like, I don't want anything from you, like, at all. Like, I'm really okay. But now, getting older and actually having more serious finances and, being in a more serious relationship, I kind of let him take the lead with a lot of stuff. Like when it comes down to bills, we pay stuff 50-50 sometimes, but most times he'll just end up paying for it all. Or I'll just give him like a little bit of money, or just say something will be $1,000. I'll give him $200 and he'll pay the rest. Something along the lines of that. Like now I'm starting to be more so let the man take the lead, and I'm like a little bit more submissive, but I'm still controlling. It's weird.
So we have a lot of people in our live. Let's say they are saying both partners should be getting to it, but the man controls majority. But I do also agree if we both making good money, it should be 50-50. I think the responsibility rules don't matter as long as it's being played by both sides equally in effort, especially when taking care of a family.
Yeah, I definitely
submit to your man.
I definitely agree with Madi_get right, because in the sense of the way our dynamic is, I focus more on the kids. Like, I'll buy the groceries of the house. Mia needs money for the dance. I'll give her the $5 for the dance. I'll get the costume. I get, not saying the play stuff, but I get all the stuff surrounding the kids, and you handle the foundation. You take care of the car note. You take care of this. You take care of that. And I take care of not the little things, but, our kids' responsibility.
Right. So how do you feel about, so let's say, so with you saying that when it comes time for like Christmas or birthdays, and he gets you less than what you get him, but that's because he's putting out a lot more money than you're actually putting out. Do you feel like that's fair?
Wait, you said he's...
So let's say he pays majority of the bills, like you said, all the hard rent, car note, all that stuff, and you pay for the kids. Yeah. Now you're obviously paying less than what he's paying.
Absolutely.
So let's say it comes down to Christmas, and you spend a lot more money on him because you have a lot more money saved from not paying for rent, not paying for car and all that stuff. Yeah. So you have a lot more money saved. So you buy him a lot more things than he got you for Christmas, because obviously he pays a majority of the bills. Yeah. Do you feel like that's fair, or you feel like that's unfair?
I kind of feel like that's unfair. Is that bad?
I mean, to me, in my opinion, yes.
With me, I don't ask for much. Like, I'm very simple in the sense of, like, for Christmas with Emerald, since high school, every year, only thing I ask for is a robe. Like, I have like 12 different robes now. So I don't ask for anything. So if I ask for the one thing, that's all I want. I don't expect you to get like a boatload of shit for me. But if I ask for the one thing, I kind of expect that one thing. It doesn't matter if you're taking care of whatever you're taking care of. If I ask...
Okay, but let's say if you ask for a robe, and he just got you a robe, that's it. But you bought him sneakers, a game, all this stuff.
I wouldn't care about that, because that's what I asked for. But if I asked for 10 different things and he didn't get it, I feel like I'm realistic in the sense of, I don't need all these 10 things. Like, you pay for stuff majority of the time. I'm not even gonna ask for 10 things. But if I ask for that one robe, nigga, I better get my one robe.
Right. Okay, let's see. Let's read the comments. They're saying, I would want a woman to lead with me, equal rights. I know in my case, we can go 50-50, but like extracurricular, I'll pay for it mostly. And I think that's how my relationship goes. For most part, I feel like we're 50-50. But if he falls on hard times, then I'll always pick up where he slacks. And if I fall on hard times, he has proven that he will pick up where I slack. Yeah. And when it comes for extracurricular activities, like if we're out to eat or something like that, I would say it's about 60-40. 60% he pays for it, and then if it's like a smaller bill, then I'll probably just pick it up. Yeah. Because I don't like to make him feel like every time we go out, he has to pay. Especially because when we go out, it's usually my idea. Yeah. So...
And I think I'm the same way in the sense of, like, if I initiate it, then I'll either pay more of the bill or I'll try to pay all of it. Like,
yeah, if it's my suggestion to go, I will usually try and pay for it. A lot of times he'll get to it before me. Yeah. But if it was my suggestion, I'm definitely gonna pay for it. Yeah, and then as far as bills, I like to make it as fair as possible. Also include, like, thinking about how much each of us make.
Yeah.
So like if you're making a lot more than me, then I feel like it's more fair for you to pay a little bit more than I'm paying if I'm not able to pick up everything that would make it 50-50.
Yeah.
But I just feel like women shouldn't make the man feel like he needs to kind of support the whole entire family.
Yeah.
Like, especially if the woman is in a space where she can prevent that. Like, if you're making money, you shouldn't be looking to the man to support the whole entire family.
Yeah.
But I feel like if a situation occurs where the man needs to be a man and pick up where the woman can't, then there should be no excuses. There should be no excuses as to why you can't pay the rent, why you can't pay this and that, why you can't make sure I have gas in my car, why you can't make sure that I ate. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that, it should be no excuse for that.
Yeah.
If I can't get to it myself, because at the end of the day, women will give you the clothes off their back to make sure that you're okay.
Sure
especially black women. No shade. No shade.
White women too. Honestly. Because look at they were going in on the guy from Power, Ghost from Power, Omari Hardwick or whatever, because he posted his white woman. And it was like a situation where a black woman was like, oh, you know, she won't be riding with you and da-da-da-da. And he basically explained, you know, she's been with me from the beginning. Right. You know, she was putting that money out when I just wanted to be an actor and da-da-da-da and da-da-da-da. These black women didn't. And I understand that.
Right. Marty Get Right says, you gotta really know who you dealing with. I seen the nicest people switch for some bread.
Yeah.
That's a fact. That's definitely a fact. Yeah, in a relationship, money and finances is really a touchy subject.
Yeah.
Just because there's so many stereotypes about women and men that still carry on to this day, and we're in 2019, but I feel like now the stereotypes are kind of not there 100% like how they used to be.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
And it's kind of weird because, especially with like certain dynamics, because it's like if you're working a 9 to 5 whatever every day, and I don't have a job, or I'm making less money at my job, I feel obligated to take on more extra responsibilities. Like, you know, you work the same hours as me, but you're getting paid more than me. So I kind of feel like, especially in my situation, that okay, now I need to make sure that the kids are secure. Like, that's my even though they're your kids too, I feel like it's my responsibility. Now I need to make sure this is another added on responsibility for me. Now I need to make sure I have dinner ready because, you know, he's coming home, whatever the case is. And I think that's kind of brings me back to my grandparents, because that's how they were. My grandma always, with my other grandparents, my grandma always had dinner for my grandpa when he came home. Always, like, on point. Always had, if she wanted to have something else that he didn't like, always made sure his meal that he does like was ready. And I feel like that's where I